Discovering my husband's infidelity shattered my world. As I neared the end of my second trimester, mentally bracing myself for the impending arrival of our child, the harsh truth blindsided me. Not only had he betrayed our vows, but he'd also impregnated the other woman. The defiance in the face of my anguish fueled a determination within me. If they wanted to play games, I'd prove I was the master player. I would drag them down to the depths of despair they had wrought upon me. My name is Michelle, age 27, wedded to Matthew for nearly 2 years. Fate had intertwined our paths within the corridors of the same conglomerate, and it was he who had initiated our relationship. At the time, I was unattached, unaware of the deceit lurking beneath his charming facade. So I decided to dip my toes into the dating pool. Surprisingly, everything just clicked, and before I knew it, we were planning a future together. In our first year of marriage, the universe had another surprise for us. A baby on the way. I couldn't contain my excitement as I broke the news to my husband on our anniversary, right after confirming the tiny heartbeat. Guess what? We're going to be parents. His eyes widened in disbelief. A baby? Really? Our baby? Yes, really. I'm 8 weeks along. We're going to be mom and dad. He enveloped me in a tight hug, overflowing with joy. Thank you, Michelle. I'm over the moon. Careful there, tiger. You're squeezing me a bit too tight. Sorry, I just can't contain myself. I'm thrilled. Our little one is going to be amazing. I agree. Let's tackle parenthood together, hand in hand. Absolutely, he said with genuine enthusiasm. That day, his joy over my pregnancy seemed so sincere. Looking back, I still believe it was genuine because he continued to support me wholeheartedly throughout my pregnancy. I had to take maternity leave early due to severe nausea, leaving me unable to manage household chores. In stepped my husband, taking charge of errands and chores with unwavering dedication. But as time passed, a subtle shift occurred. It was during my second trimester, when the nausea began to ease and I regained some energy, that I first noticed the change. While I resumed some household tasks, my husband's late returns became a pattern. Concern grew as his arrivals stretched past midnight. Finally, I confronted him. Matthew, you've been getting home really late lately. What's going on? Just overtime at work, he replied, his tone casual. But you used to be so punctual coming home. Yeah, I was, but that was because you were really struggling with morning sickness. I made it a point to be home on time. There were even days I should have stayed late, but I came home for you. So now that I'm feeling better, you're the one pulling overtime. Yeah, exactly. I've leaned on others a lot during this time. It's about time I pull my weight at the company. I understand. That makes sense. Matthew, my husband, had changed jobs since we got married, shifting to a different department within the same corporate umbrella. Maybe he was grappling with new responsibilities. During this period, he started being away from home more often, leaving me to fend for myself. Amidst it all, my close friend Al, who knew about my pregnancy, Al began visiting regularly, a welcome presence in the absence of my often distracted husband. Her companionship eased the anxiety of being alone, her thoughtfulness a balm to my worries. With most of my newborn essentials prepared, the impending reality of motherhood started to sink in. Despite the apprehension accompanying first-time experiences, I found solace in the anticipation of our child's arrival, buoyed by Al's encouragement. Then, one day, as was her habit, Al arrived for a visit, but her demeanor seemed unusually somber, a stark contrast to her usual exuberance. Sensing her unease, I inquired, Al, is something bothering you? You seem different today. Huh? Do I? I hadn't noticed, she deflected, though her forced smile betrayed her true feelings. You're not your usual self, Al. You've been wearing that smile, like a mask since you arrived. What's going on? I persisted, concerned knotting my stomach. I understand if you don't want to talk about it, but I'm genuinely worried. Seeing my best friend so downhearted is hard to ignore. Michelle, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to add to your worries, especially with everything you're dealing with during your pregnancy. You're never a burden. Al, please tell me what's on your mind. Well, actually, Al's words caught me off guard, and I had to ask her to repeat herself. I'm sorry, could you say that again? I said Matthew is being unfaithful. Ha! Al had been concealing from me the painful truth that my husband was having an affair. She recounted seeing him at a restaurant the previous night while out with a friend. He was there with another woman, their intimacy undeniable as they held hands, exchanged loving gazes, and even shared kisses. I have photos as proof. Would you like to see them? Show me. As I gazed at the images, a surge of nausea overcame me. Oh my. Oh, Michelle, are you feeling all right? I'm fine, just a bit queasy. I shouldn't have shown you this. I'm sorry. No, it's not your fault. You did this for me, and I'm grateful. Michelle, I thought she was grappling with personal struggles, so the revelation hit me like a ton of bricks. Never did I imagine Matthew would betray our trust. Just yesterday, he insisted on working overtime, a justification for his late returns. Were all those instances merely lies? Approaching my third trimester, I couldn't let this deception slide. That night, determination fueled my confrontation as Matthew returned home, as usual, past midnight. His surprise at finding me awake masked his unease. Michelle, why are you still up? You shouldn't be exerting yourself. Matthew, we need to talk. Is everything all right? Where were you last night? What were you doing? Ha! I told you I was at work late. It's been hectic lately, remember? Whenever I'm late, it's because... Then what's this? I thrust the photo towards him. I stepped forward, standing squarely in front of Matthew, watching as his expression shifted, attempting to evade my gaze. Undeterred, I pressed on, demanding answers. Tell me, this photo was taken yesterday, wasn't it? Who is this woman? Oh, she's just a colleague. A colleague? Really? Since when do you hold hands and kiss with a colleague, Matthew? How did you even find out? He deflected. So you've been deceiving me all this time, I accused, my voice unwavering. At the mention of his infidelity, Matthew fell silent, avoiding my eyes, likely crafting an excuse. But just as I anticipated his denial, he shocked me with his brazen admission. Haha, yeah, I cheated. So what? What? Why are you being so nonchalant? You know what you've done. It's not just cheating. Stop downplaying it. I can't help it if women are drawn to me. What? Can't help it. I'm carrying your child right now. Oh right, you are. But there's no rule against me cheating on my pregnant wife, is there? It's not about laws, it's about basic decency. Having an affair is absurd, especially while I'm pregnant. Despite my tearful pleas, he simply started fiddling with his phone. Ignoring me, fuming, I marched up to him, grabbed his collar, and demanded, enough of this. What's gotten into you? Take a moment to reflect on your actions and apologize to me. You're so annoying. I have nothing to reflect on. I haven't done anything wrong. You've got some nerve. I've had it. Just as I was about to retort, the doorbell rang. My husband went to answer it, and a woman's voice floated in. She entered the living room with him, and I instantly recognized her as his mistress. But something else caught my eye. It was her belly that caught my attention. Like me, the mistress also sported a baby bump. Despite the shock, I managed to find my voice as I addressed the two who were blissfully gazing at each other. Wait a minute, Matthew. What's going on? This woman is your mistress, right? Yeah, this is Layla. Isn't she adorable? He replied, seemingly unfazed. No, I mean her belly. She's pregnant too, isn't she? Yeah, isn't it obvious? She's expecting, just like you. You two can bond over that, right? Haha, he remarked callously. His belated comments left me speechless. As Layla, the mistress, addressed Matthew in a cloying tone, I felt a surge of revulsion. Hey Matthew, can I really take these newborn essentials that are here? Layla asked. Of course, help yourself, he responded with a smirk. You're having a girl too, so take whatever you need. Yay, thanks Matthew. If you need anything else, just let me know. I'll take care of it, he offered. You're so generous, Matthew, Layla cooed. What in the world were they discussing? All the baby items here were meant for my daughter. Shock overwhelmed me, my anger rising like a boiling tide. I couldn't contain myself as they continued their absurd conversation. Enough. I'm the one who purchased these baby essentials. You can't just give them away, I erupted, my voice cutting through their dialogue. What's the big deal? You have money, so you can buy them again, right? Matthew retorted dismissively. Layla is facing financial difficulties, he added. That's not my concern. You should be the one providing for her, he continued callously. Shut up. She's a fellow pregnant woman in need. Can't you spare a thought for helping her? I snapped back. Are you serious? Why should I have to support your mistress? Matthew sighed heavily, running a hand through his hair before dropping a bombshell. I won't be coming home for a while. What? What are you saying all of a sudden? I'm worried about Layla. Talking to you is just aggravating. I'll be back when the baby's born, Matthew declared. Really? That's wonderful. Layla, let's gather everything you need. We'll head home together, he announced, prompting a happy nod from his mistress. I stood there, stunned, as they collected the newborn essentials I had purchased and made their way to the door. Looks like I'm his favorite, huh? Layla remarked with a smirk, leaving me speechless. It stung, realizing she held precedence over me. I couldn't forgive him anymore, betraying not just me, but our unborn child as well. This couldn't be the end of it. I vowed to seek revenge. From the very next day, I began packing, determined to enact my retaliation. Despite the challenge of moving with my large belly, I visited a real estate agency in search of a new home. It was tough, but necessary for both me and my child's well-being. With that unwavering resolve, I braced myself for the impending separation from my husband. Thank you. I welcomed my daughter into the world without complication and embarked on a new chapter of life with her by my side. Then, after a significant passage of time, my husband reached out to me. Hey, Michelle, it's been a while. What's new? Despite my frosty reception, he persisted. I assume you've given birth by now. Layla did too. Haha, so what? You, the traitor, have no place in our lives anymore. Don't play games. I was just thinking of you, so I decided to call, he continued. Is that so? Send me a picture or something, I retorted. Excuse me, that's absurd. I'm sorry, but this child isn't yours anymore, I declared firmly. Fine, whatever. I'm coming home right away, he declared before abruptly ending the call. Where does he think he's going home to, I wondered, a smile tugging at my lips. As expected, I soon received a panicked call from my husband. Hey, Michelle, what's happening? It feigned ignorance, replying innocently, What's the matter? You sound worried. What's the matter? There's someone else living in our apartment. Oh, so they found a new tenant. What? How can you? You still don't get it. I terminated our lease for that apartment ages ago. I've relocated. You have no home to return to. Desperation laced my husband's cries over the phone. Hold on. Why would you do that without consulting me? Consulting you? Did you forget that apartment was originally mine, and you merely moved in? Well, still, we're a family. A family? Are you serious? Who would want to be part of your family? But my husband finally seemed to grasp the situation, his voice quivering over the line. Wait, Michelle, please. I'm begging you. I never intended to abandon you. That's fine, because I've always planned to leave you. This can't be. You're joking, right? I love you. Don't play games with me. What do you mean you love me after cheating on me? You wouldn't understand, but a man can love two women at the same time. Like I care. Go ahead and enjoy your time with your mistress. You're misunderstanding. I love her and I love you. I don't intend to let either of you go. Plus, it'll be tough for you as a single mother, right? Your daughter needs a father. And what about your mistress's child? I can be a father to both. I'm a father to 2 children now. His self-serving logic made me sick, resentment bubbling inside me until it burst out in a loud tirade. You're the one who betrayed me and our unborn child first. And on top of that, getting your mistress pregnant at the same time. You've got some nerve. It's disgusting. You're finished as a person, you piece of trash. Oh, Michelle, I'm sorry. I apologize, huh? Your apologies mean nothing to me now. My daughter doesn't need a deadbeat like you as a father. Hey, let's calm down and talk. We can find a solution together. And don't forget, you only got your current job thanks to my father's recommendation. He's the one who opened that door for you. As an executive at the group company where we both worked, he vouched for you, saying you had potential. Thanks to him, your income increased, and maybe you got carried away with that. You spoiled your lover and even got her pregnant. You're a hopeless man who repays kindness with betrayal. I continued to unleash my anger at my husband, leaving him speechless. Just so you know, you're no longer a husband or a father. I'll be seeking full alimony and child support from you. It's time to atone for your sins and go to hell with your mistress. But Michelle, wait, my husband pleaded, but I refused to entertain his pleas. With a decisive click, I ended the call, blocked his number, and severed all ties with him. The divorce proceedings proceeded smoothly thereafter. I pursued significant damages from both him and his mistress, along with substantial child support. Additionally, I demanded reimbursement for the newborn essentials that his mistress had unlawfully taken. Consequently, they found themselves in a dire financial situation, exacerbated by my father's intervention, which led to my husband losing his job. Now, he resides in a modest apartment with his mistress, working tirelessly to meet his financial obligations. Meanwhile, I found solace in the peaceful life I share with my daughter. Supported by my parents and my faithful friend Ellie, I am never lonely. Recently, my daughter achieved the milestone of holding her head up, making caring for her more manageable. Witnessing her growth is a profound blessing, a privilege I cherish deeply. It's a bond that man will never experience, one that is uniquely mine. I am committed to savoring each moment with her, nurturing a beautiful relationship that will endure.